Strålterapibolaget Elekta har precis släppt sin andra kvartalsrapport i det brutna räkenskapsåret där man kom in i linje med förväntningarna. Bolaget står fast vid sin prognos för 2025-2026 och med oss för att prata mer om det gångna kvartalet och om tiden framåt är bolagets vd Jakob Just-Bomholt. Good morning and welcome to EFN, Jakob.
Good morning.
This is your first quarter. Could you briefly share the key highlights from the quarter, please?
Yeah, so it was a reasonable quarter. We had organic growth, 1%. We saw growth in our order intake, and importantly, we saw our gross margin improve by a bit more than 2%. But it's also a emotional and tough day for us because we announced a change in our operating model that will have impact on a number of Elekta employees.
Yeah, and I see there is also an annulment of orders of close to 2.2 billion SEK. Could you explain what that means and talk something about it?
Yeah. So when I assumed the VD role here at Elekta, I did a leadership change, have our commercial regions reporting directly to me. And part of the work I've been undertaking is reviewing our commercial execution, including the quality of our order backlog. And we have then decided to apply a firmer interpretation of the criteria for taking in orders. And as a consequence, we have lowered our order backlog. But it's still a very good order backlog. It's 2 times sales. It doesn't impact cash flow. It doesn't impact revenue projections. And this is it. We are not going to make more adjustments.
And what is your strategy going forward to win market shares and raise profitability?
Yeah, part of our strategy we are unfolding today. We also have a few things we'll wait disclosing. We'll give a further strategy update in January. But if I take what we call a must-win battle, is really to reset the way we at Elekta operate. So we will implement a new operating model. It's about decentralization, simplification, increase our speed, velocity of product development, commercial, operational execution.
And looking at the stock market, your share has been down for a long time. How will you turn the negative trend?
Yeah, so what I focus on here now is to make sure that Elekta starts to gain market share and starts to improve financial performance.
And given the significance of capital tied up in the business and the observed low sales cycles that you have, how do you plan to improve return on invested capital while optimizing the working capital efficiency?
I mean, the working capital at Elekta is actually quite good. It's negative. So we are an asset-light company, and I would say the sales cycles are long. So typically, from we get an order to we make an installation is 12 to 18 months. But it's going to be hard work, and part of the work starts today with the new operating model. And then, as I said, we'll come back in January with further strategy updates. I would say we have spent a lot of time looking at Elekta's position, and then together with our board and management and employees, looking at what are then the key things, must-win battles that are going to move the needle for Elekta. I think we have a pretty good feeling what they are, and we will share more details in January. But fundamentally, Elekta is at a good position. We are in an industry that is actually growing a bit faster than the average for medtech companies, and we are well positioned. We are number 2, not number 1, but that's great because then we can be the insurgent. But we need to move fast, and that's what we are trying to do today.
But then why is there no correlation between sales and profit growth and the increasing number of cancer cases, for example?
I mean, there is growth. As I said, Elekta is growing 1% this quarter. It's a company that has consistently been growing over the years, but I would say we're open about our challenges. We are not growing as fast as our main competitors. We don't like that. We also look at our EBIT margin. It's below some of our key competitors. We also don't like that, and that's why we have been very explicit that Elekta today is not performing at our full potential, and that's what we are about to change.
And what about the the Elekta Evo US approval? It has been delayed for more than a year now, and how come it's been taking so long?
Yeah, there are many reasons, but we focus on getting the approval. So we resubmitted over the summer. There's typically a 180-day window for getting that approval, and we are positive we'll get the approval within that 180-day window.
And maybe you could elaborate as well on the Elekta One, because for the software and all, when will we see its contributions from the higher margins that we can see in that segment?
We do see that now. We have a good software suite. There are pockets where we want to continue to modernize our tech stack, add more features in. But what we call Elekta One Planning is actually having quite good traction, yeah.
And how successful are you in winning contracts on pricing?
When you lose market share, you always have to ask yourself the question, can you do better? And I think we can do better. So when the industry we are in, first and foremost, we want to win contracts and installations due to the superior quality of what we are delivering. And then, of course, it's also a competitive tender, and we need to be competitive. And what we can do then is to make sure that we are internally competitive so we can pass on a good offering to our customers.
And is there a reason for you to lower your prices to win your orders?
Oh, we actually don't lower our prices.
And how are your clients doing due to expensive products then and tight budgets?
No, I don't think our products are more or less expensive than our competitors. But in general, when we go out and engage with our customers, it's a constant balance between having great clinical performance and then, of course, also give them an offer they like.
And rumor says Varian system is less labor intensive and offers superior products. Do you agree?
I never comment on competitive products. I don't think that's very smart. We focus on what we can do. And in general, at Elekta, we invest more than 10%, 12% actually in R&D. So we are just dedicated to continuing to innovate and come out with superior products. And we have every reason to be passionate about what we have in the pipeline.
And where do you stand out in comparison to Varian, for example?
As I said, I never compete, but what I can compare. But what I can say, though, is that at Elekta, we are very focused on ensuring that our portfolio is catered for adaptive treatment. So, and what does that mean? That means that you can go in and adjust treatments along the way and make sure with high precision you can come with higher dose. So you can actually, if you're so unfortunate to be a patient, you can be cured with fewer treatments and with better patient outcome.
And what does your...
And that's actually very, very exciting. And keep in mind, we are the only one with a MR-guided linear accelerator, which now there's so much evidence coming out of what it does to patients. It's actually quite touching.
And Jakob, if we look at the mandate for change, what does it look like for you? Can you succeed in turning those stones that haven't been turned before?
First and foremost, it's not me, it's us. It's a teamwork. But I've been really pleased to come into Elekta and first see that the industry position is good. We are open about the challenges. We also feel those challenges are within our control. And then I've just seen in real time, I would say, a decisiveness and a call for action, both with our board of directors, with the management team, but actually importantly also with our colleagues around the world. So I absolutely think we have a very, very good probability of improving from where we are. And we are not in a bad place. We just know we can do so much better. And that's what we are gunning for.
And at the same time, last year, Connelin, she left the board to focus on neuro. And now we hear that she has left her role as head of neuro within less than a year and that she's been replaced by John Lapre. Is that correct?
No, it's not correct. So you heard wrong. I'm very happy to have Caroline Lexell heading our neuro business. Neuro is what really started Elekta and is doing very well.
And last week we learned Mattias Thorsson, head of corporate communication, has been replaced. How do you plan to change the corporate communication from here?
So today we announced an overall change in our operating model. And as a consequence, we have then zero-based look at what organization do we need to have to fit into that operating model. And now we announced that 450 colleagues will be leaving. I'm not going to comment on individuals, but it's not about individual performance. It's really about that we are resetting Elekta and how we operate.
You also mentioned the Capital Markets Day that's going to be in June. Can you talk something about it so we know what's coming?
I think right now I focus a little bit more on what is ahead of us the next 3 months, but it will be the general topics of capital market days, including financials.
Many thanks. Have a nice day, Jacob. And,
same to you.
Yeah, and thank you for joining us as well. And tack snälla du som tittat och titta gärna på Börsfrukost klockan 8:55. Hej så länge.